Mount Kailasa didn't tremble from an earthquake. It trembled from arrogance. Ravana stood at its base like a storm given a crown. 10-headed ambition, chest swelling with victories, eyes hungry for a win that would make even the gods whisper his name in fear. He had conquered kings, crushed armies, bent sages with threats. But one thought burned louder than all the rest. If I can move Shiva's mountain, what can ever stop me? Above, Kailasa rose in impossible stillness, white rock like frozen moonlight, peaks sharp as prayer, air so pure it felt like you were breathing silence. Nandi stood watchful, steady, the kind of guardian who doesn't waste strength on noise. Inside the sanctum of that mountain, Shiva sat in a peace so deep it didn't need to prove itself. Parvati beside him, radiant and calm. Yet even she felt a flicker of unease, like a lamp sensing wind. Ravana placed his hands on the mountain. He didn't ask. He didn't bow. He grinned and began to lift. At first it seemed laughable, a man against a mountain. But Ravana wasn't just a man. He was tapas, power earned through fierce austerity, sharpened by ego into something dangerous. The ground groaned. Boulders shifted like teeth. Kailasa moved. Snow slid off ledges in shining sheets. Trees tilted. Streams changed their song mid-flow. The whole sacred mass began to rise, slowly, unbelievably, as if the world itself had forgotten the meaning of immovable. Ravana roared, and his roar echoed up the slopes like war drums. "See me!" he seemed to shout at the heavens. "Witness what I can do!" Inside, Parvati's hand tightened slightly. The mountain that had always been her home swayed under her feet. For the first time, the steadiness of Kailasa felt uncertain. Shiva opened his eyes. Not in panic, not in anger, in mild curiosity, like someone hearing a child knock over a pot and deciding whether the lesson needs words. Ravana pushed harder. The spectacle reached its terrifying peak. Kailasa tilted, lifting from its roots, the horizon bending. For a breath, it looked like the sacred mountain might be carried away like a trophy. Ravana's faces smiled in triumph. And then Shiva moved. Not his arm, not his trident, not even his posture, just his foot. He extended one toe pressed down, and the entire mountain slammed back into place with a force that didn't shatter it, but reasserted reality. The impact was cosmic. Air punched out of valleys, birds flung into the sky, snow exploded in white clouds. It was as if the universe itself said, gently but firmly, no. Below, Ravana's victory became a cage. The mountain pinned his arms, pinned his shoulders, crushed his roar into a strangled cry. He was trapped beneath the weight of Kailasa, beneath the weight of his own challenge. His 10 heads twisted, faces contorting from pride to pain. He thrashed. But what is a struggle against the calm of Shiva? What is ego against stillness? Nandi watched, unmoved, as if this was not even the first time arrogance had tried to climb too high. Ravana screamed, not just from physical agony, but from humiliation, the kind that burns hotter than wounds. "Release me!" he demanded. But Shiva's toe did not lift. Time stretched. And in that stretched time, something cracked inside Ravana that power couldn't repair. He realized the truth no conquest had taught him. Strength without surrender is just a prison you carry. So Ravana did the one thing his pride hated more than pain. He sang. Not a performance for an audience, a raw, desperate hymn pulled from a corner of his soul that still remembered devotion. He praised Shiva, not as an enemy, but as the limitless. He offered what he had never offered to anyone: humility. The mountain remained steady. Shiva listened. Parvati's gaze softened, because even in a demon, devotion is devotion. And when the song became honest enough, when it stopped trying to bargain and began to bow, Shiva lifted his toe. Kailasa did not move. It didn't need to. Ravana crawled out, shaken, smaller somehow, as if the mountain had pressed the madness out of him. He looked up at Shiva, no longer trying to steal glory from him, but finally seeing what glory actually is. Because the lesson of Kailasa is not that Shiva is stronger. It's that the highest power in the universe doesn't need to prove itself. And one toe of peace can crush 1,000 heads of